Hey, welcome back to Summit Sunrise. Here with Jimbo from Precision Ski and Golf. And as you guys know, if you're familiar with Jimbo, that I always learn something new every time he comes on the show. And Jimbo, you have brought a variety of equipment that we, at least you and I, have never discussed before. So I'm kind of excited to see what this is all about.
You're too young to be a golfer, so golf is a sport that is equipment intensive to the 10th degree.
Like everything up
Like
here.
everything else,
Yeah.
and I know you snowboard a lot and I ski a lot, and we're constantly hearing stories about the technology that improves the equipment so that we can go out and have a great time. And golf is no exception to that. Just as an example, take a look at these two different clubs here.
Okay. Very different, obviously.
Yeah. Maybe why don't you hold that one and I'll hold this one.
So you can kind of see.
Yeah, this is a little old persimmon wood head driver, and here's a titanium head driver, and you can see how a lot of the equipment has changed in that the head is so much smaller,
right?
And this head is so much bigger. This has a metal shaft. This doesn't have a metal shaft. And, after that, the similarities are, or the differences are not so great. But, there's been a lot that's been going on behind the scenes with golf equipment that is interesting to tap into. And one of them has to do with weight.
Okay.
So many people, when they come into our shop or any golf shop, you can pick up an old driver and you pick up a new driver and you go, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
That thing is so much lighter than an older driver. And in some ways that's true. In some ways the market gets tricked a little bit. In that one of the things that the USGA controls, and that's the U.S. Golf Association, is that they control some weights of some pieces of the equipment.
Okay.
For example, and I can show you. I don't know whether we can see this on the. But here's some different driver heads, and this one weighs 205 grams.
And that's one of the newer ones?
That's one of the newer ones. Brand new titanium. It's big and light. And here's an older left-handed club head. And you put that on the scale, and it weighs exactly the same.
Really?
So, it's like, my gosh, people start thinking, what's really changing here? One thing is the size.
Right.
The smaller the head, the smaller the striking area. I mean, you can see that pretty plainly here on these two. So it makes this club easier to hit.
Right.
Just by virtue of the size. It has nothing to do with the weight. The weight stays the same. So when people pick up a golf club and feel that the club is a little bit lighter, if the weight isn't changing in the head, it's changing somewhere else, and that's what the manufacturers have been up to. For example, here's two different shafts. This is a steel shaft. Still, steel shafts are used today by many golfers. And here's a graphite shaft. The difference is one weighs about 125 grams, so that would be around 4 ounces.
Okay. All right.
And this one weighs 50 grams.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, you can feel that difference right there.
That's incredible.
So,
that's like having a carbon frame on your bike compared to like one of
an old steel frame.
Exactly.
Exactly. So
yeah.
this helps a golfer in if the club weighs less, a golfer can move the club through the air faster, and it increases what's called their club head speed and will give them a little bit more distance.
Which is always nice up here.
That's
with
what a lot of golfers look for.
Yeah.
Another area that the manufacturers have been working on golf equipment is in the area of grips. And just for example, feel the weight of that grip.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and here's a grip that weighs half.
Whoa, Yeah.
I mean, you can feel these differences.
Yeah, that's significant.
You know, so if you take a club that has a lighter grip and a lighter shaft, the head weighs the same. You can feel that difference, and it spells game improvement for a lot of golfers.
Yeah.
If the club is lighter, you can move it through the air and hit the ball a little bit faster, gain a little bit of distance. You're also not quite as tired at the end of the day after swinging a club that weighs a few ounces less each time you swing it. So, you know, the manufacturer's been up to some interesting things that has to do with weight.
And you might be buying a few less rounds at the end of the day for your buddies if
That's
you're
right.
actually
That's
you're
right.
improving your game. And so if people come in, let's say they have, you know, like their grandpa's clubs and, you know, from the garage or something, and they bring them into Precision, can you help to, you know, to modify the different little pieces?
Sure. It's quite possible. Maybe on an older shaft like, or an older club like this, it might not be the appropriate thing to do. But golf clubs can be easily reshafted. The head is removed from the shaft, another shaft is glued in its place, and you gain some of the benefits of the new technology that the manufacturers have, which is lighter weight.
So if people come in, you know, with their clubs, you can actually kind of get your clubs diagnosed, and you can kind of help them figure out what might, you know, be right for them, and as far as grip size and things like that.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, to make sure that the grips are maintained. It's like a ski or snowboard tune. A lot of times it gets put on the back burner, and if grips are replaced once every season or two, you'll have a lot better opportunity to hit a good shot when you're out on the course.
So where are you guys located?
We're on Summit Boulevard, sort of across the street from the Walmart complex, in between Christie Sports and Cammie's Yogurt.
And what are your typical hours this time of year?
Typical hours, we're open from 9 till noon and from 3 until 5. 5 days a week. Wednesday and Sunday we're closed.
Okay, so you have plenty of time to get out and do some golfing yourself, do some quality testing.
Testing, yeah.
Right,
Equipment
exactly.
testing, always.
So it's a good idea to get in there early, or of course later on in the afternoon. But just before you go too, Jimbo, you know, you have helped me so much with my custom insoles for my snowboard boots. But when it comes to golfing, you can do the exact same thing.
Sure, you know, and it's always interesting that golfers are a lot more tuned into getting something big and visible like this to put in their bag, which can cost, you know, upwards of $100 to $200 or $300. You can improve not only your driving, but your putting and your fairway shots and your wedge shots, and just walking around by putting a decent insole in your golf shoes. It gives you some support. Your feet aren't as tired at the end of the day, and you're connected to the planet in a much better fashion, so that you can have a solid shot when you hit the golf ball.
See, so many varieties, and I always learning something new from Jimbo. So stop on into Precision, get yourself set up for your best golf game. And do you have plans to get out and do a little golfing today, or?
Today I'm working. Tomorrow is a golf game.
All right. We're going to take a break here in Summit Sunrise, but so much more still to come on this